Hello, welcome into this edition of the Sancomb Show. I'm Matthew Carter, the Director of Athletic Communications here with the Vulcans. With me after a nice Saturday off from a conference play, any game at all overall from the college perspective, is head coach Daniel Sancomb. Coach, obviously it was nice to get a little bit of a break there. You guys are rolling right now, so you don't really want to take too much time off, so it's got to be a little bit of a challenge for you guys.
Yeah, it's interesting. You get a week off in between, so just trying to plan practices properly where we're not wearing them out, but at the same time pushing them. So I think we're in a good place. We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, so last week you only had one contest. You went up to Clarion. One of those ones there is Clarion's one of those, they've improved this year. They got one of the top scorers in the league in Cam Kearney. He's going to get his. Their point guard is transferred from Mount Olive. He's doing a nice job there. Vulcans faced a deficit there at halftime, but you guys found a way, like you've done a couple times already in this winning streak, to just keep at it, and then at the last second getting that victory.
Yeah, that was a hard-fought win. I thought Clarion played a very sound game defensively against us. They were physical and made it very difficult for us. We just continued to hang around. I think the big difference in the game was our defense and rebounding in the second half. We held them to 29 points. I think, shot 31% from the field. And I think we were like plus 12 by the end of the game on the glass. And it was just a struggle for us offensively, as a team. We just couldn't make shots. We didn't get great shots. And we really relied on our defense and rebounding to win the game, which is a good thing.
Yeah, in the game there, Clarion had the lead for over 37 minutes of the game. They were led by as many as 16, just found your way to work it back. You were down 20 a couple weeks ago and came back and won. But this one, getting a last-second shot there, Jordan Buchanan, 4 seconds left. A lot of guys left on the team that can hit open shots. Just take us through there what you guys were thinking on the play, and obviously Jordan's getting the shot there and being able to put the basket, get the lead.
Yeah, well, Jordan, the inbounder, those guys, they forget about those guys quite a bit. But we were trying to get a flat ball screen for Donald and let him attack, and thought he'd be able to get downhill on his right side and, have Cam over there if they help get a good kick there. If they didn't, pull up or a layup. But they forced him to go that way. And by the time Jordan got there, his man had really overhelped, and Donald made a good play and kicked it to him, and it was a good look, and he knocked it down. So fortunate for us that it went down, but it was a big shot for Jordan as a freshman, and he shot it very confident and went in. So it was a really good feeling when that horn went off after they missed the half-court shot, that we were able to hang around and find a way to win the game.
This is one of those games there. I mean, we're mid to late February now, where Jordan has been such a pivotal role all year. It's not like he was freshman back in the idea of November when he was starting games the first time and get those jitters out there. At this point, he's really not even a freshman. Him and Keandre and even Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep growing. I think it's a neat thing in the season, just how confidence grows. And when you're forced to play, obviously, like all of our players, Jordan has made some mistakes, but he's been able to, just continue to play through them and get better as the year goes on. He's really a good shooter, and I think in the last month you've seen that. Like, he's shot the ball really, really well, but he defends and rebounds. He brings a lot of things to our team, as well as Keandre and Duncan. Those 3 guys have been very pivotal, just getting our season turned back around. They really have. Like, they've grown up, and their competitiveness and their execution has continued to get better. So they're a big part of our success this year for sure.
Yeah, Keandre and Duncan combined for 25 minutes. Nice to see Keandre get back out there. He missed some time there. A little bit of a bug, like I think about 3/4 of the population did in the States there at the same time. It seemed like everybody was sick, but nice to see him get it back out there. In the game, Cam actually finished the team lead with 25 points. It's tough going from 3 from 10 from the three-point line, but still got to the line, was efficient from inside the arc, and also contributing 7 rebounds.
Yeah, I think offensively, though, Cam in the second half really did get it going, and that was the spark we needed. Offensively, he was able to score the basketball for us. Like you said, he ended up with 25 points, but really was good in the second half, for us doing that. And then the 7 rebounds. Every time I look, and Cam has, one of those games, it's a complete game, with the 7 rebounds, 25 points, just doing whatever it takes to win. And he was a big part offensively in the second half to get us going. Like I said, it was hard to score for both teams in that game.
Yeah, Donald actually only finishing up with 12 points there, 4 of 12, but he ends up with 5 assists. So Donald being there, always being the floor general, if nothing else. But Caden Hanna really stepped up there, getting 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Just that guy lunch pail guy. He does there, everything goes hard and gives you such good, valuable minutes in the starting role this year.
Yeah, and obviously those things show up on the box scores. I mean, they're big, but also he does so many little things, for us. Whether it's a loose ball that he comes up with, takes a charge, gets a defensive stop. And Donald's similar. You see a lot with Donald. Sometimes he has those big offensive games, but a game like that, just settling in the second half, his defense on their point guard was crucial. Their point guard had a great first half. I think he scored 2 points in the second half, and Donald obviously was matched up on him, did a good job, for us. So, those two guys are so important to what we do. They really are. And Cam, Donald and Cam at the guard positions, they're experienced. Outside of that this year, after the injuries, nobody else had any experience, and they've done a good job, adapting as the season has went on, and our other guys, have really gotten better.
And in the middle there, Dahlman finished with 8 rebounds, leading the team, but getting 5 in the offensive glass. He's just one of those guys. He's always pesky around the rim, whether offense or defense, getting those rebounds and altering shots, if not blocking the shots, given his length and his athleticism.
Yeah, that's what Dahlman's capable of doing at a high level, which is so important, getting second chance opportunities on the offensive rebounding and finishing. He had an easy dunk just because he beat everybody down the floor in transition late in the game. It actually gave us, I think, our first lead, and he's able to make those types of plays. And then defensively, he brings a lot. He changes shots, he blocks shots, he can guard and move his feet on smaller guys if he's caught on a switch. So very, very valuable. And he's just grown this year. Like, he's just grown. It's great to watch. Mentioned the other guys growing. Dahlman didn't play a lot last year as a freshman, and started the season great when everybody was healthy. But he was playing 21, 22 minutes a game, but was contributing great. And that's just continued when we lost the other guys. His minutes have been extended, but he's continued to get better, which is good to see.
Again, it's just that one game there on a Wednesday, so it alters the plan of, okay, normally it's, okay, break down film, get ready for Thursday, Friday. Getting that time off now. We'll take a quick break here and look at this week's opponent, but also check out the PSAC West standings, because it's getting really close. It's still cold out, but it's almost into February, which means March Madness and a lot of things still to play for in the PSAC. We'll be right back.
Coach Danny Sancomb and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CUTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Hello, welcome back to this edition of the Danny Sancomb Show. I'm your host, Matt Kiefer. With me is Coach Sancomb. Coach, it's hard to believe the season's almost done. Only 3 more games left, basically 4 more dates left in competition here in the PSAC regular season schedule. Vulcans got another bye this coming Saturday, but we prep up with Wednesday against UPJ. But before looking at the games with UPJ, it's really getting close there. In the West, there's a lot of teams still jumbled up right there at the top. Gannon's already solidified their spot in the PSAC tournament. They've won their last 4. They're 20-6, 15-3 in the conference play. And this week they're off tomorrow, and then they travel to UPJ. But just looking at the PSAC West standings, it's still so much to play for, and everybody's sort of keeping pace with each other. Cal's 10-7, Edinboro's 10-7, Slippery Rock 8-9. Seton Hill 7-9, UPJ 7-10, and even IUP and Clarion 6 wins. So they're right there with the wins. The game numbers are a little different, but everybody's still within neck and neck of each other, fighting 2 through 6 basically.
Yeah, most competitive the PSAC West has been since I've been coaching in the 7 years. It's a dogfight every single game. Teams are, you got 6 wins, the least amount, to 10 wins to that second range, and it's close. Obviously, Clarion has 6, and they gave us everything we could handle, last week. So the competitiveness of our league has been a grind. It's been a tough season where in past years, you may get some of those bottom teams that weren't as good. This year, just the parity of our league is at an all-time high.
And it's one of those things, too. The league's a little different, too, without Mercyhurst. And Mercyhurst is a team that would always be on the cusp of being an NCAA fringe team, if nothing else. So they'd be right there in the same mix. So it's not like anybody was going to pull away, even if they were in this division this year. I think it's just one of those things talks about how balanced the league is overall. Looking at it right now, Edinburgh is going to be off on Wednesday. They play Seton Hill on Saturday. Clarion is going to be playing at Slippery Rock and then off. Slippery Rock's at Clarion and at IUP. And IUP, Slippery Rock's always a dogfight between these two programs for years, going back and forth. And being at IUP, they've already had their senior day, but they're still trying to fight to get in this tournament. But looking at the PSAC East now, that's a little bit different. 5 of the 6 teams have already locked a spot. Nobody has a spot picked yet. East Stroudsburg's the hottest team in the division. They're 13-4, and they've won 6 in a row. But Westchester still has that 1-game lead. So it's just an interesting dynamic of the split of the idea of how much is decided. But that 6th spot, there's still 3 teams tied at 5 and 13. So overall, there's still so much to play for in the PSAC this season.
Yeah, and those teams at the top, Westchester, I think they're undefeated at home. I think they have East Stroudsburg coming back. I think East Stroudsburg's lost 1 game at home. They're regionally ranked teams that, are having, great years. And that game probably will decide who wins the league at the end of the day. I think East Stroudsburg won the first time, so that's a big game at Westchester coming up here in the next week or 2.
Yeah, and then looking at Cal's competition here this week, the only one that I have is this week, so all your time and dedication will be on the one opponent. Sort of like last week is UPJ, a program that's been a little different the last couple of years without their superstar graduating John Paul Kromko. But again, their team, they've won 4 of their last 9, but they had a stretch where they lost 5 in a row. So they've found ways. They've had a couple spurts here and there, but they keep finding ways to bounce back with some victories.
Yeah, I mean they beat us good last time we played them. At their place. They present a lot of challenges for you on the defensive end. They score the basketball. They pass and cut extremely well. They have good shot selection. They have a post player that can really score with his back to the basket. They carved us up. They scored 103 points, 105 points last time we played them, and we really didn't have an answer the entire game. So we're going to have to be ready to be much better defensively if we want to have a chance to win on Wednesday.
And that's one of those things there. They have a point guard, a transfer from Seton Hill. He's a 1,000-point scorer. Seton Hill goes there, learns the new system, but at the same point, he's been top 3 in the league in assists. And also, Ryan Smith is their big scorer. He's got over 1,200 points in his career. But even the big you were referencing, he's a transfer from freshman of the year, sort of like how Caden was Division III. He comes from Capital, and he's doing a really good shooting 60% from the floor. As a big, still, even if you're a big, shooting 60% is definitely getting the job done from inside.
Yeah, he's tough. I mean, he goes both ways, finishes with both hands. Great offensive rebounder. He can shoot it from about 15, 17 feet. Post game is, he's good down there. So we got to be ready, with them. And obviously Ryan Smith, he's been in the league, for all 4 years and just gotten better every year and has the ability to shoot it, ability to drive and attack. Just a very good basketball player.
And even last year, Coach Rocavina had a down year, definitely by their standards, but we both seen that program for a long time. We knew they'd find a way to bounce back, and they certainly have this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think part of their problem last year, they had a lot of injuries. Obviously, they graduated 4 seniors that may have been their best 4-year run in school history, and you lose that, and then you have all the injuries. It was just a difficult year for them, and I figured they would bounce back. Bob has been there for 37 years, and he's a hell of a coach and does a good job. So they're always prepared. They're really hard to guard. So we got to be ready to guard and play better than we did last time.
Well, you have a chance to check out the Vulcans play against the Mountain Cats tomorrow, 7:30, approximately tip-off for the men's game, following the women's game at 5:30. So be sure to check out the game and the action at the Convocation Center tomorrow, 7:30. Thanks for watching.